You have been so caught up by life and making everything happen. And for the longest time, the last priority has been you. Well, I'm here today to tell you that it is time to come home to yourself. Hi, my name is Mia and welcome to my channel, all about navigating my 20s in London, and I want this to be a safe space for you to do the same, whether you're living in a big city or the town you've grown up in. Today's video is all about coming home to yourself and reconnecting with who you are to make your life a life worth living. We are going to talk about what it means to come home to yourself, why we get disconnected in our 20s, signs you're not at home in yourself, and of course, the practical how-to on coming home to yourself in your 20s. So if you have been abandoning the home that is you, keep watching. So what does it mean to come home to yourself? You are your home. You are the vessel for your soul through which it needs to achieve its purpose. You are sacred. The things you can do are sacred. But when you are living your own life out of your body and finding that sense of home in things other than yourself, that's when you become disconnected and start living your life according to what other people think and want. Coming home to yourself means reconnecting with your intuition, your values, and your energy. It means building such a solid foundation that you feel safe and grounded no matter what is happening around you. It is an immovable sense of wholeness that no one can take away from you. And it is realizing that your dream life is not a destination. It is a place within and who you become. There are many reasons why we get disconnected in our 20s and why it is so easy to do so. A lot of us really struggle under this hustle culture, which is only amplified by social media and living in a big city. This is because you are comparing yourself to everyone else. You are comparing yourself to people who have been afforded opportunities that you haven't. And when we see people in their 20s who are making millions and achieving all their goals, of course it makes us feel bad about ourselves. Of course it makes us feel behind. And this leads us to performing rather than living. We become stuck on this hamster wheel, constantly feeling like we have to prove something, rather than just being. It is challenging because our 20s are a time of change. You change friend groups, you change interests, or perhaps you change cities. And when you embark on all this change, for example, moving to London, it really does feel like starting over and giving yourself a clean slate. The danger of this though is you become so caught up in these new things and evolving that you often can lose touch with your old self. There are many signs that you are not home in yourself. The way I like to describe not feeling at home in yourself is that it feels like you are living chest up. You are lacking that depth, that feeling of being grounded in yourself, of being sure of who you are. You can be constantly tired, overstimulated, or emotionally detached because you are not living authentically to yourself. And when you are not living authentically to yourself and you aren't able to please yourself, you then begin to outsource validation. You always look for signs that you are on the right path because you do not even feel sure if you are. This leads you to achieving things and achieving goals that you think will bring you happiness, success, and fulfillment. But you achieve them and you feel nothing. When you are not at home in yourself, you start chasing after everyone else's idea of success, everyone else's except your own. For me, one of the biggest signs I was not at home in myself was people pleasing. Because I did not feel safe and at home within, I searched for that safety in others through their approval and their opinions. I became what everyone else thought I should be because I had no idea who I was because I neglected me. Finding my way back to me was a journey, and it wasn't an easy one. When I was 18 years old, I moved from South Africa, where all my friends and family were, to London. This was a massive move and I am so grateful that I did it. However, it brought a lot of loneliness into my life and I really struggled with no longer having the support systems I always had. This made it very easy for me to lose myself in this big new city, as I was doing anything I could to establish myself in my new country. This identity loss was only amplified by the London pressure to always do more. And if you know anything about me, you know I am such an ambitious person. So I hit the ground running with London, and I was doing the most to achieve my goals. And the funny thing is, when you need to slow down, life will force you to slow down and reevaluate. I became so lost in London that I was feeling burnt out and lonely all the time. I would be in my work bathroom and crying and having a breakdown, hitting that emotional low of just feeling so lost made me realize I cannot trade peace for prosperity. And it showed me that my inner peace and my sense of feeling home at myself is a non-negotiable, not a reward. Something I have struggled with my entire life has been people-pleasing and searching for external validation. Feeling so lost in London, and to be honest, feeling lonely, only really exaggerated my people-pleasing tendencies as I tried to create a sense of community in my new city. So if you could relate to my story, this realization helped me find the best ways on how to come home to yourself in your 20s. The first thing you have to do is you have to create quiet and unplug. What this looked like for me was going for walks and journaling. It was signing up for that yoga class I always had my eye on. I think that mind and body connection is crucial when you are coming home to yourself, because you are your home both spiritually and physically. So you have to take care of both those components. Another way to come home to yourself is by prioritizing your inner peace. This can look like meditation, by setting boundaries and by saying no to the people and the things that don't align with who you truly are. Prioritizing your inner peace is walking away from situations that you know aren't right for you. Another way to come home to yourself in your 20s is to build your habits around nourishment and not productivity. This sounds counterintuitive, but by nourishing your mind and your body and making sure you are not pouring from an empty cup, that is the thing that is going to do wonders for your productivity. When you look after yourself and build a routine around sustainability rather than mindless productivity, you will have so much more energy to achieve your goals. To come home to yourself, you need to reconnect with your joy and your softness. Not everything has to be a hustle. Romanticize those little moments, like getting a coffee or putting on a cute workout set. Remember the things you loved as a child, your old favorite movies, or your long-lost passions. Tap into those. You will often find that going back to who you were and the things you used to love will help you find a feeling of home in who you are now. Lastly, check in with yourself often. Take pauses with intention to find that clarity. Ask yourself, how do I feel? What do I need? Is this situation, person, job, is it aligned with who I really am? When you check in with yourself and you ask yourself these type of questions, the answers to the questions are going to help you align better with who you really are and will help bring you back to you. Let this be your reminder. You are allowed to want big things and still protect your inner world. And you don't need to become someone else to live your dream life. In fact, the easiest way for you to achieve your dream life is by coming home to you and rediscovering the person you are meant to be. If this video has inspired you after all this time to come home to yourself, please give it a like And comment down below what coming home to yourself means to you. I absolutely love making these videos for you, and there are plenty on the way. So please do subscribe so you don't miss any videos from me. And if you want to know more about feeling whole within yourself, I recommend to watch my video on how to become your own safe space. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.